Hello, everyone, and you're very welcome to the Man United Agenda. It is, of course, Tuesday. And can I just say, nothing to see here. There's no money resting in our accounts. We're like Oliver Twist. Please, sir, can I have some more?
How you doing, Rebel man? It's good to see you on the show smiling for a change. You normally come on, you normally look at the teeth. I wonder if it has something to do with the news that's been going around today.
I can't lie. It did help my mood just a smidgen.
Yeah, but what's happening, man?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Obviously, on the football side of things, it's looking good, isn't it? I mean, spending that sort of money we didn't think we had, players that we felt were probably out of our range based on us not being in the Champions League or in Europe. It looks like we're ticking all the boxes of a club that's, in the Champions League. And maybe, like if you're going to make a move like that, someone who's 22 years old, coming to the Premiership, coming to a big club, you're going to be promised a lot of stuff. And I think you want to come somewhere where there's going to be a winning mentality and with the prospect of winning trophies. So I think anyone, like the three players that have arrived, the main players that have arrived this season, are coming for a project, and the project is to win trophies, and they want to be a part of that, clearly. So whoever's selling these players a dream, they're doing a very good job because they've arrived and they're here, and it's reality.
All right, so yeah. Rebel, let's start the day with how it actually started. Obviously, Newcastle put their bid in. When was that? Last night? Yeah, last night, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah, they went early. With their chest, and United just sat down there waiting, just chilling in the background, waiting for the dust to settle. Obviously, we already know how United are going to deal with things if they don't want to get into no bidding war with nobody. And I think that's what it looked like they did. They weren't getting into a bidding war. And then we wake up this morning to hear that halfway through the day that United have made their bid. Now, the fact that they've made the bid, I'm going to assume that Sesko's giving them the green light to say that he wants to come to us. And that's where my excitement comes from now. It's not like Newcastle's bid. They put it out and then they gave him, 48 hours or 24 hours to decide. And then they went in again. The fact that the bid wasn't accepted by Leipzig, I'm going to assume that Sesko was told him he only wants to come one place. Am I wrong?
So here's the thing as I understand it. Obviously, 2.5 weeks ago, Benjamin Sesko was completely and utterly off the radar in terms of a possibility. It was felt that we've made our two big money signings, and obviously we've had the narrative of we need sales. We've been listening to that for the last 24 months at this stage, I'd imagine. So then, obviously, Newcastle are trying to get players in because they have Champions League football. They have been bare turgent in the market so far, and they have a one-way striker in Alexander Isak, who's coveted by Liverpool. They made their move last night. They bid over the market value in the asking price, according to the majority of the media reporters that were commenting on that bid last night. They came in at 90 million euros, I believe, is the figure that they had been reporting. And it was felt that they had the principles of a contract arranged with Sesko's people in the event that they got the nod. In other words, they had done all their background work. Manchester United then this morning, having from again what David Ornstein, what Fabrizio Romano, what the Daily Mail guy has been saying, would only make their bid if they were given kind of inkling that Benjamin Sesko would choose them over any other potential suitors. And I think what we have to remember is Newcastle had been chasing him for at least a week and a half longer in public than we have. And if the player was looking to join them, I'd imagine it'd have been done and dusted by now. I at least the bid would have been accepted. Now, I get people's concerns. They're seeing the same exact package that was offered for -9, essentially, 2 years ago. And they're kind of going, are we going down the same pothole-filled road all over again? Here's the question, though. If you don't throw darts at players that look like they are going to be the next big thing, look at Lenny Yoro. We didn't think we had a monkey's chance in hell of landing him over Real Madrid last year, did we? He arrived at Manchester United. Did we pay a lot for him? Absolutely we did. But we made the move, and he looks like, knock on wood, a centre-back that's going to be a feature for us for at least a decade. Benjamin Sesko hasn't played in the Premier League already. But let's face it, how many Premier League proven strikers are in the Premier League currently that are not in a club that they would actually move from? Because Haaland is obviously City's Tasman, Isak would have cost massive amounts of money, and we know all the other big name strikers. But it looks like we've got the deal done. No, it's not over yet. Neither bid has been rejected. But I think, judging by the way the Newcastle media are reacting, this is done. They're out of the race. They're looking at bloody Jackson now. Jackson. And I'm seeing some of the equivalents of our channel pulling their hair out. Like, I thought I was pessimistic, and I thought I threw dour, depressing monologues, but bloody hell, Jordy's taking it to a new art form.
What are Newcastle saying? Newcastle media, are they gutted?
They're gutted.
All right,
You got to think they went early twice. They went early, obviously, and we've done them again. And Romano, we did him. Cunha, there were slight links, but he was always going to come to us. I mean, we've done him 3 times, you know, and then Isak wants to leave. I mean, 70 years of pain to win it, and then they've had the last 2 months of the last 3 weeks have been terrible for them. I'm glad. These pigeon chest people walking around with their small clubs acting like they're big boys, they're not. At the end of the day, we've still got the pulling power, Yabba. You know what I mean? As much as, you know, we're not in the Champions League, yes, I get it. We effed up last season. But to be fair, did we deserve to be in the Champions League? You know, we would have liked the money. Of course, we would have done that. Well, that would have been, I mean, we would have been a chaos now. Can you imagine what we would have been doing now if we did? But we knew what we needed to change. Price-wise, I think it's a lot of money. I do think it's a lot of money. And the fact that we've got that money, you know, could we have bought a midfielder and a cheaper striker maybe? Would that have been better? But I said to everybody, man, we were broke. I said it. There's no way a club like us can be broke. You know, last season or the season with Ten Hag when he came in and we started shit. Oh, we ain't got no money. 2 games into the season, bam, Casemiro comes in. You know what I mean? They've always got money sitting down. You know, okay, so normally they may, I'm going to assume Rasmus is leaving. If this comes off, I'm going to assume Rasmus is leaving because he can't stay. It puts a nail in his coffin. He will now decide, oh, I want to stay. Players never say they want to leave. Apart from the ones at our club, to be fair, they normally say that they want to leave. But it's levels. There's levels to football, isn't it? As much as, you know, we're in the demise and, you know, we haven't won the Premier League and we haven't, you know, challenged for anything major in a decade. But we've still got that pool. How long that pool lasts is a whole nother issue. You know, a lot of rival fans, oh yeah, nobody wants to come to United, nobody wants to come here. Okay, Sesko, big boy. That sounds like he wants to come. We've already got Cunha and we've already got, you know, so now we have to move on to maybe different positions. What are you thinking on Sesko, Yabba? You're just sitting there.
Yeah, I'm really kind of interested, not overly excited. I'm interested about, you know, he's obviously a key player for us. We need a proper number 9. That's his role. He's tall, he's strong, he can hold up the ball, and he can play. He's playing 2 fresh, ready-to-go players with Cunha and Mbeumo as well, and Bruno and around him. So he's going to get service. He's got to get used to the style of play, but he's very good in transitions, playing in German football for RB. I've seen that with the link up and it's finishing off tap-ins and headers and that kind of thing. and he's going to give us something that we haven't currently got apart from Obi Martin. You know, but he's ready to go. So with Cunha, with Mbuemo, these guys are firing, proven in their prime, and you've got a guy coming in also on top of that now with Sesko, who's ready to explode, ready to sort of show the world now on a bigger stage that he is that guy. He's one of the best forwards in Europe. Obviously, Slovenian international. He doesn't score a bucket of goals. When you look at other strikers like Poland and the guy who's just gone, the Swedish guy who went to Arsenal, they're scoring like almost goal a game. That doesn't mean you're top striker always. We'll find out with Gorka Perez. I think Sesko, I'm not expecting him to score like 30 goals a season, you know, unless, you know, I'm going to be shocked here. But he's never scored an abundance of goals. But he is a good team player, and he does occupy defenders, and he does do the job and work hard to sort of bring the teammates into play. So I'm really interested to see him as the figurehead and the players working in around him and using him in that sort of sense. You know, you mentioned the abundance of strikers we have now. We got Verserzi, we got Sesko if he does come, and then you talk about Rasmus as well. I did say Rasmus should stay for a period of time. He wants to stay, and I don't think there's any pressing issue to get him out of the club because I don't know. Because it's about value for money, isn't it? It's about, are you going to get the money back? Maybe 50 million. Who knows? Who could pay that? Italy's a place that he's known. He's got a good reputation there. He could go there. So possibly a loan or something like that. But I just think if we're going to attack this season, we need to have a big squad. And I think there's always going to be a time when you know someone's going to have to come in, step in, have a 3 or 4 games if someone's out injured or something. And that it's better to have more players there than less, drop off to someone like a youth player like Chido. So I'm excited, but I'm interested to see how he's going to fit in. And I think it will work because we clearly gone for him. We clearly want him. And it's the manager. You talk about getting a midfielder. That was a priority. The manager saying, no, we need to score goals and we need to light up our attacking third. And I think this guy will link up better with the guys that we got and make us play better. We've seen some really good football over the preseason. That's the only thing we could judge it on. And judging by that, with the 1-2 touch and the runners that we got with Mbuemo and Cunha and Ahmad as well. Sesko can run as well. He's really pacey guy as well, and he can draw out wide. He plays out wide. He plays down the middle. So you've seen an interchange of the players in different positions. So it's going to be really interesting. We're going to drag defenders all around the park like we did against Everton. We really sort of moved them about, and I'm really keen to see what we can do come the next pre-season game and then building up to the start of the season. It's good times for Man United.
Yeah, but I didn't realize we were signing a Lanar company. Sesko. There, all jokes aside.
His name is it's actually Sesko. They call it. I've been listening to how people say it's Sesko.
Oh, Sesko.
Yeah, Sesko.
Sesko.
Yeah,
Sesko.
Yeah. Let's not get it wrong before he even starts. You know what I mean?
Thank God Column's on match commentary.
Yeah, to be fair, he God bless him, boy. He struggled that last half hour of that game, boy.
Well, just to give you some stats, Yaba. In 45 appearances during the 24-25 season, he had 21 goals, 6 assists. So that's 27 goal contributions in 45 games. So it's not too bad. But I just wanted to go back to something that Andrew Williams actually mentioned, and he talked about PSR. Now, I do agree it's not sustainable to constantly shell 200, 300 million every season and not make sales. But in terms of PSR, believe it or believe it not, Manchester United has the 5th cleanest PSR bill at the end of the last financial period. So the reality is that Manchester United is in a position to make these transfers. And when you look at what the actual PSR capital for the transfers to date are, it's about 20 million for Cunha, 20 million-ish for Mbumo. Andrew, these are the published figures that the Premier League released. So that's where the source of these are. The figures are released out as to the financial health of clubs at the end of the financial period. the reality is, Andrew, they've got sales that are pure profit. They've been selling players that have been deemed to be academy players that have zero input costs, and they're selling them for 100% profit every time that they do. They made bare money on that lad that went to Arsenal, Kai Havertz. They made more bare money profit on McKaylee. So Chelsea and Todd Bowley are playing a blinder in terms of PSR. But the one concern that is there is our sales. And in the long run, obviously that's something that we're going to have to rectify. We can't be disposing of players like Rashford for silly little loan deals where we're getting no money into the coffers. I know we're saving a few quid in wages, but that's not what we need to be doing. We still have Anthony on the books, Sancho on the books, players that we're saying that we need to move on, and they're still there.
They'll go, Rebel. They'll go.
No,
Everything.
I'm just saying, long term, it's something that Manchester United needs to improve on for sustainability purposes, because we can throw these darts this year at Sesko, at Mbumo, at Cunha, and possibly one more. Who knows? But next year and the year after, that cycle gets more and more difficult to do. But let's get a bit more enthusiastic, because we are doing a few giveaways here in the Man United agenda. We're on the road to 4K. And if we get there before the first ball is kicked at the start of the season, one of you lucky viewers will get the Man United jersey of your choice with name and number on the back of it, should you choose. If you just want a blank one, no problem. We can do that for you too. So all you have to do, particularly those on YouTube, if you want to take just 30 seconds, come on over to the Man United Agenda YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, and you can duck straight on back to the viewing medium of your choice after that. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button and you're in the draw. Now, for the price of a couple of Freddo bars, if you join one of the Man United Agenda membership tiers, once we hit what we deemed as what we think is the consecutive number of memberships that need to be on hand at a singular time, one of you will get the Brian Robson jersey. Now, it's not an insurmountable, indeterminate figure. It's something that is very achievable, and all it takes is a couple of you to donate £1 to the membership, and I'd imagine we could get there by November. It's a very achievable figure. All we just need you to do is to join the membership. And as an added bonus, Mr. B does do the Premier League roundup every Friday. He will invite you, even Bart, to come on and wax lyrical about.
I'm waiting for Bart. I'm actually waiting for Bart to get the balls to come on and talk football. He's got a lot of it in here. I know he has, but I am actually looking forward to it. I keep telling you, Bart, you don't even need your camera. I would love to have a proper conversation with you. Friday will probably be the best day, because then I have a little bit of a tipple before that. So I'll tell you to shut your mouth and stuff. I won't be too polite. But yeah, honestly, I have Bart. You're the one that I'm looking forward to. You've always got the chat, but we got a couple of newbies in the house. Frankie, where are you? Not seen you before. Big up, man. I hope you're doing well. Or Frankie, could be a lady, so I'll say Frankie. And I saw another one in here. Elite Baller, I know you're not new. I've seen you already. How you doing, big man or woman? And Luan France. Luan.
Not newbie. Luan's been around.
Oh, is it? Okay, well, that's down to me being that earhead then. But welcome. We deserve better. Ask a question on here. Where is it?
Before you do that,
yeah.
I have been just drawn by the chat to this tweet that has come out 3 minutes ago from Fabrizio Capin Romano.
Hold on, let me get this up. Let me get these off. Right, come on, let's get the tap-in merchant.
Understand Manchester United's feelings from earlier today is even stronger tonight. The club believes Benjamin Sesko only wants to join Manchester United. Manchester United forwarded official contract proposal to Sesko while also negotiating with RB Leipzig.
Wow. Supporting, I mean, Newcastle, if they know that he probably wants to go there, they've actually had discussions about wages and everything. They're probably thinking, all right, it's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? If he doesn't go to Man United, he can come to us, knowing that he'll be second choice. First refusal is Man United, and it's sort of been that way. It's been rumored that way for a long time now, and there's more confirmation there coming from the big man Romano himself. So it seems like he does want to come to Man United over Newcastle. If you're living in Slovenia and you're playing football in Germany, clearly Man United are a Champions League winning side and they've got more prestige and a bigger club. And when he's looking at Newcastle, even though they've got a good project and money, it's not about the money. He's probably thinking, I'm going to have more glory at Man United. We've won 2 domestic cups in the last few years in our worst form, for ever, probably, since Premier League started. So we're still an attraction. And it's great to hear that players are sort of zoomed in and want to become legends. When you hear former players talking about the club and what it means, and when they come here, the demands, I've seen Everett the other day talking about it, saying the demands every game. There was a funny conversation he said about, remember Gabriel Obertang? Remember him?
Yeah,
He's French as well, so he must have played with Evra. He played in a good game, skilled it up, had a good performance, and he said to Evra after the game, "Oh, this is easy. This is really easy." And then the next game, he was blowing out his arsehole, and he says, "Evra, bloody, this is tough. This is real tough." He said, "Evra, you have to watch it. You at this club, you have to perform every game. You can't slip at all. Your standard has to be up there." So I hope that we are picking elite players with elite standards, elite mentality, like the Cunhas, like the Mbeumas, who are hungry, and this Sesko guy as well, who seems to be hungry. And I hope it's a good choice. I hope it works out that we'll be singing his name and getting his shirt number, whatever number he's going to wear going forward. Yeah, it's good times, man. I'm really excited. And after the disaster of last year, and I think we needed that dip for a reality check, it's even better, isn't it, when we feel, we're licking our lips about what we might see, the brand of football and the better quality of player that we're having. Because in those positions last year, we were having Bruno doing all the work. You had Garnacho in there as well. You had Zerchi dropping in there. Compare that to what we've seen in pre-season with these guys coming in. It's like day and night. So this is good stuff, man. Well done, Ineos.
Can I just welcome Frankie GGMU CT to the YouTube membership? Thank you very much. We do appreciate it. And I'm going to actually do one just especially for Bart, because it is a transfer update. RB Leipzig are speaking to Liverpool about the possibility of a move for Harvey Elliott. Obviously, now they're going to have money burning a hole in their pocket. So there you are, Bart. Don't ever say that we don't cover Liverpool for you as well.
Well, I definitely know that you're a newbie. I hope you're doing well. I hope you I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you found us. We will be here tomorrow. If you like what you see, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, we're not even gonna know, to be fair. But do us that favor, guys. If you are new to it, just hit that button. Sorry, Rebel.
Yeah. I was just going to mention, though, that we do want to talk about something that a lot of our subscribers have been asking about, and that's central midfield. Now, obviously, we have had a match against Everton at the weekend, and I want to target one specific instance where Bruno Fernandes was moved back from the 10 into the 8. It was the lead up to Everton's second goal. Bruno tried to do some fancy malarkey in the middle of the pitch, got cut out, had the ball taken from him, then got into a Barney with one of the Everton players. They continued to play on. Bruno still decided that his test with the Everton player was more important than getting back and actually doing his job as a midfielder. And we conceded a very bizarre goal where our midfield was cut open. Aside from Kobe Mainoo, is there anybody that we can really rely on in the centre of that midfield?
Can I go with this? Look, let's get this out of the system during pre-season. Obviously, this is Man United. You're going to highlight any kind of error or any kind of success, just the spotlight's on you all the time. And when you look at it, Bruno, the majority of the time he steps up and performs, but occasionally, things like that, you see him out of position and chasing back, and a bit petulance as well. And it is a friendly, is a preseason game. You know, he could have got sent off in the Premier League for something like that, squaring up and thing. But he hopefully he's going to get out of his system. And you have to remember as well, Bruno is really a number 10, but he's been assigned a lot of time now, especially with the players we have, to drop off a little bit, and he needs to be a bit more disciplined. So even Bruno, even though he's the captain and he dictates things on the pitch and off the pitch as well, the manager needs to build a relationship with him and get him to understand that he can't be sort of breaking his block all the time. He needs to be a bit more responsible this season. And I think we haven't seen it as yet. There's still the slight criticism on that side of the game for him. But I just think if you want to develop and you want to become a better player and a cultural player, he should look at Vitinho, for example, Portugal, Portuguese teammate, see how he holds the position. João Neves as well, his Portugal teammate. Have a discussion with them. We know they're younger and senior. He's a senior to them. They hold their position. They're tenacious and they know when to go, and you rarely see them getting caught out. You know, so that's the role he needs to start developing into. That's the player he needs to start developing into. And he's got players. And what we find as well is about trust. With Bruno, I always felt that he doesn't, with the players around him, he never trusted them. He wanted everything to come through him. But now we've got better quality. Maybe he can, give a bit more responsibility to these guys ahead of him, and that will stop him getting out of position and letting the other guys do the work, the creative kind of work for him.
Mr. B, I'm going to come at this from a different angle with you. And I think it was Links actually mentioned that Bruno Fernandes did contribute to that first goal. But let's remember, when Bruno was at his best, he was in the 10 role. And it's probably easier to forgive some of his deficiencies in the defensive side of the game when he's in that 10 role, because you have the 6 and 8 doing the work in behind him. Are we, after creating a separate headache now in midfield, because obviously we've got two quality players in Cunha and Mbeumo, where we're now forced to play him a bit deeper and now having to figure out solutions to covering those deficiencies?
The deficiencies, I think, are with the formation. I'll be honest, Rebel. I think players dropping in and making that central midfielder 3 is going to be the biggest conundrum for Amarin. He's not going to change. He's always played that way. Bruno being in there, we understand Bruno gives the ball away. He's petulant. But then you've got to look on the other side and what he does goal-wise. Goals win games. And Bruno scores goals and creates chances. Hopefully with the players that are ahead of him now, he doesn't feel that he has to go that end of the pitch and be the glory boy. He'll let other players do it. We see the problem. None of us here have a UEFA badge. The people in the chat, there may be a few of them with UEFA badges. They see the problem. There's no way Amarin can go into the season and we do not buy a central midfielder. I'm not sure it's going to be the central midfielder, like the guy. But I think he will go in there. If you look at what we've done, last year we bought defenders. Mazraoui, De Ligt, Yoro. Did we buy anybody else in defense? Dorgu. Yeah, we bought defenders. This season, we've gone for the top end of the pitch. Strikers, attacking midfielders. Maybe next year will be the part where they focus on, look, this is just me being, dreamy, but maybe next season they're going to be focusing on the midfield. We needed defenders. We did. We've always needed midfielders, to be fair, but last season, 44 goals. That's what we scored, 44. I'm not being funny. With what we're getting or what we've got now, I don't expect us to be in the 40s. I don't expect us to be in the 50s. I would like to think that we will be in the 60s. I know, Andrew, we had this conversation last season and we spoke about 75 goals. I'm sure we sat down here talking that we needed, and Andrew kind of put us in our place. So hopefully this season it will be the 60 mark. Where that takes the team, I have no idea, but there's no way with Sesko, if he comes in, he finished, he's clean in front of goal. He takes his chances. His conversion rate is pretty good. You know, so we just have to give him the chances to finish. You know, that's more what I'm hoping, that the team actually creates more chances. The midfield, I think, is going to be an issue. I don't know who we buy. I'll be honest. You know, we're talking about Belabor and Wharton. With what we've spent already, those are dream signings. Crystal Palace haven't spent any money. And now they talk about losing Gay and they're in the Conference Peer Cup. Come on, they need to spend some money. So I don't think that they're going to be giving up players like Wharton and Belabor. If we're saying that he's a good player, you know, the scouts obviously know their business. Brighton don't sell players for cheap, you know, so you're probably looking at the best part of close to a one-up. What did they sell Casado for, a one-up?
Yeah,
100, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that might be the price that they're looking for. And right now, Man United are in that position, you know, qualify for the Champions League and a good league place. They might well go out and splash out on £100 million midfield. I doubt it. I would like to think that they wouldn't, you know, but stranger things have happened, you know. And they said, remember, we've still got sales to come in, you know. I'm happy that we're not waiting for the Garnachos, because guess what? He's still sitting down on his arse.
Yeah.
You know, he knows what he's doing. He's gonna wait. Chelsea know what they're doing. They wait for the last week of the window and offer 30 mil, 35 mil, because we know that we want him to go. You know, Man United may well take it, but guess what? We've now got the cover in already, so go. No problem. It's not an issue. We didn't need your money. You know what I mean? And we're showing people now we don't need your money to function. We just need the deals to be right.
It's interesting, actually, that you mentioned deals to be right. Obviously, now having spent 3 decent wedges and 3 players, assuming Sesko gets completed, we do have an opportunity to probably make a loan move to boost that central midfield area, because if we in truth that we are kind of done with the big spending, I think as we said backstage, it probably would be a mistake to make a cheap signing that we look to flush again next season. So maybe a loan is the option. But we talked about goals and goal scoring. I just wanted to show you last year's Premier League table, just very briefly. So here's Man United, down in 15th, 44 goals scored. Now, assuming that the new front three, if it's completed, can get us up to Brighton 66. Is that difference in 22, 23 goals going to take you from 15th to, say, a 6th?
It's a new season. It's a new start. I think there have been so many improvements for this squad right now. The way we're playing football, I don't see us losing as many games as we did last season. The attitude seems right. There's a buzz around the club right now, you know, and there's a bit of momentum as well to do better. And as the manager said at the last game of the season at Old Trafford, he said there's good times ahead, and you know, they've backed him. They backed the manager. And if there's competition for places now. You got a player like Mason Mount, who a couple of years ago in the international tournament was the top player for England and Chelsea.
Apparently he's had a talk with what's his name? Thomas Tuchel. Apparently spoke to him a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he's obviously Thomas. He liked him. I wonder if he's giving him, you know, the nod to say, you know, get your head down and play, and maybe he could force himself into the England squad
by playing regular football. I think that's what's necessary to play regular football this season. I mean, look, he is quality, and we have to give him an opportunity because he's been unfortunate of injuries. So we talk about squad depth and players getting minutes. and with 5 subs and everything else, you can get a fair share of minutes and start producing goals, and then you can start starting games as well. Players get injured, don't they? So I like the fact that we got someone like Mason Mount that we rarely talk about, who is a quality player. Clearly is a top player with what he's done in the past. Just the injuries, we have to sort of drop that and say this guy can perform. He scored a goal the other day, didn't he? Same thing like he did against Lyon. Got it out of his first touch was good, got out of his feet and just swerved it into the goal. He does produce. He gives you something different as well. So I like the fact that we got options and quality coming in. And if you're talking about making that jump, Rebel, from scoring 48 goals to getting to 60 odd goals, that's another 20 goals. You start winning games, that's points as well. It's not just about goals. It's about points and winning games, keeping clean sheets. And I think we're definitely in a better position to do that. And it's just dependent as well. When you look at the other sides in the league, and obviously you've got your teams that you feel are going to be going for the title. I'd say there's probably 3 teams in Arsenal, Man City, and Liverpool. And beyond that, I just think we're just as good in it as anyone else.
Yeah, it's interesting you say about goals and winning matches. Now, obviously, our first couple of games are Arsenal, Fulham, Burnley, Manchester City, and Chelsea. And I'd imagine Arsenal, City, and Chelsea will all feel that they have a tactical advantage in the centre of that midfield. And that's probably the platform in which you kick off your attacks 90% of the time, unless you're Man United who love a counter-attack. But if we're losing the battle in the centre of the war room, how significant is that in terms of kind of getting your players confidence in actually giving them opportunities to score goals? Because if you're not getting the supply of ball up to them, then obviously that's going to cause issues for us.
You want that one, Yaba?
Well, just taking the other one, but I'll take this one as well. I'll be greedy. It's for me, it's more about the systems and how we play the football. So you mentioned Arsenal. We're playing Arsenal, Chelsea, and another good team, whatever. Even Fulham away is going to be tough. Every game in the Premier League is tough, and we've just played 3 Premier League teams, over in this tournament that we just played as well. It's down to the system. I think if we can keep the ball better, use the ball better, and then on transitions against us, be more secure and have that more better insurance and restrict teams from actually playing through us, which we haven't talked about for over a year since Ten Hag was there. And our new managers come in and sort of secured us in that sort of area. He started with defence, started with the midfield, and be a bit more resilient, as in not allowing teams just to run through us. Remember, goals we were just observing being conceded against us, where the midfield, which is non-existent, and we were asking what's going on here, because Ten Hag was pushing almost everyone on and giving us that imbalance. So when we did get broken on, we were really vulnerable. But I think that's changed a little bit. I just think if you're talking about how we can compete, I just think the system will give us the ball better. We maintain the ball better. We are better on transitions, the way we press higher, putting pressure on teams, putting a stranglehold on them. And then once I think we're in a position to score early, have that energy to score when we're buzzing, score early, got that goal advantage, and then resist the pressure. Once we've got a goal or two, then we can set back and be a bit more conservative, and avoid teams sort of breaking on us, and then hit teams on the break again. So it's about managing the game. Get out there fast, hit them how we've been pressing so very, very hard, and then we've got players to come on like Mount, like Ahmad, and all these other guys to come on and have that fitness and to continue with that sort of pressure as well. Big up to Shah United, by the way. Long time no see. One of the originators.
Mr. B, Yaba's been talking there for about a minute. Do you feel like you've seen that movie before in regards to every game preview that he's ever done?
1-0. 1-0.
But I suppose we've been kind of looking at this situation with Sesko for quite some time. Hopefully, it's all over one way or the other now.
Yeah,
but,
by the weekend, we'll know. We'll get the here we go by the weekend. I don't see it. I don't see it going on for much longer than that, Rebel.
But you have mentioned the week. Oh, hello, Mr. Potus. Mr. Portis, your generosity, thank you very much.
Thank you.
5 of you lucky people, I'm not sure which 5 of you it is, got memberships courtesy of Mr. Portis. Thank you very much. We do appreciate it.
Big up, man. Appreciated, man.
That takes us a bit closer and probably prompts me to bring this back up. One of you will get this signed authenticated Robson jersey. We are now very much closer, having got 6 memberships in today's show, to giving away that. So if we keep up with this rate, we might actually even be giving it away by the end of September. Who knows? But Portis, your generosity is much appreciated. And for those of you that just want a free competition, all you have to do is hit that subscribe button. Very simple, very easy, very quick. Takes 30 seconds and you can get on with your day. And as always, we in the Man United Agenda do appreciate all that love and support, because it does help us to come back each and every day and give you the Manchester United news and previews and live watch-alongs. And hopefully you enjoyed what you have seen and will come back again. But
Rebel, I'm really looking forward to not just Man United this season, but the channel. The channel's good. I mean, the presentation, the presenters, we've got Rio, new addition as well. We've got the Wicked Friday night show. I've really enjoyed that, Mr. B. I like hear different fans talking, and you got some good personalities on as well. Friday, it's worth watch.
Some a bit louder than others, but I'll work out the dynamics of that. To be fair, but to be fair,
it's nice feel. It's nice feel.
We're going to do that one on the Thursday before the season starts here, because the Liverpool game's obviously on the Friday.
Oh, of course.
So we'll do that on the Thursday. We'll get as much of you guys on. We just want some clips. We'll send out the email address. Just some season predictions. You know, it doesn't have to be recorded. One more like for the 30 live likes, guys.
That's Come on, one of you just press that button.
One more.
Can I ask one last question just to wrap up, so that we do get that last like, because this will probably take us about 2 or 3 minutes. Obviously, we're playing Fiorentina in our last preseason game, and David De Gea has tweeted, "See you soon," essentially, on his Twitter. Do you think he'll get a good reception?
Oh, we'll get a fantastic reception. He'll get a fantastic reception. I'm hoping that we batter their blowout, though. I swear. I just want it to be like a machine gun. Yeah. I just want us to go at them. We've had 2 good games pre-season, performance-wise. We think the Everton game was, meh. But the own goal was, when you see the own goal again, the fact that Bruno was still arguing when the goal went in was bloody hilarious. But that was unlucky. It took 2 ricochets to find the back of the net, so that easily could have been a third one. The Fiorentina game, obviously, is not Premier League, but it's our last game before the season starts, and then we've got a week. I want us to smack him. I want him to have a bad back the amount of time that he has to be kicking the ball out of the net. Honestly, I want us to batter them. But yeah, fair play. I think this was done as a we owed him a goodbye. The club owed him a goodbye, and I think this is more of like a send off from the fans, maybe.
Yeah, he was a good servant, wasn't he, for the club? He won a Premiership title, I think, back in 2013. At one point, he was winning like Player of the Year almost every year. Really good keeper for his time. We've all felt, and no, you can't deny this, but he wasn't performing. And then we thought, let's get a better keeper. Turns out we've got a keeper now that we're really disappointed with. So he knows that he's going to get a good reception, because we'll be thinking, the joke would be, the fans would be behind his goals saying, sign a contract, we want you back, and that sort of thing. And he knows he's got a special affiliation with the club. And I don't think there's many players that I can really consider would come back and play against Man United, former Man United players, who would get a bad reception. The only ones I could really sort of name where it'd be, I'd wonder how the fans would react, would be Pogba, Greenwood, if he ever came back, because he's playing Championship football, and Alexis Sanchez.
Actually, I am going to end it on one last statistic for you. Mason Greenwood is actually subject to inquiries from the Saudi Pro League.
Oh, he ain't going there.
The figure that was bandied about was 90 to 100 million. Imagine a sell-on clause of 50% is what we hold on that player. It would actually be one of our biggest transfers outside of Cristiano Ronaldo if we were to get the sell-on from Mason Greenwood.
Wow.
I want him to now for that price. I want him to go and enjoy himself. Go to the Saudi Pro League, mate. Go on. I thought you was talking. I thought you was talking. 20, 30 mil, 90 million.
He won't go. He won't go.
I know he won't go. I know.
He's got. There's a good project at Marseille. They'll be a good team to watch next season. He really is outstanding in the French league last season. I think the second top goal scorer. He scored 20 plus goals or 20 goals and assists, or whatever. He scored some fantastic goals as well. He really set the league alight, and he's starting to come into his own as a player with his age and his performances. Still a few question marks. I mean, it was Zebi, Dr. Zebi. What's the name? The former Brighton was managing Marseille.
Oh, Zerbi,
sorry, yeah, and he had a few things to say about his attitude. So it's still there, but he's got to be a bit more professional. And he's obviously, making a name for himself out there. And he's been joined by Angel Gomez as well. They grew up together, didn't they, in the Man United Academy, growing up together. So I'll be keeping an eye on those two, seeing how they perform out there. It's always nice to see.
I believe we deserve better. That our fee when we sold into Marseille was about 20 million. So that's still half of 60 to 80 million, depending on what way you look at it.
We could only dream about those figures, Rebel. We could only dream about those figures, but no.
Very true.
It is what it is, isn't it?
But this has been the Man United agenda. Rebel has managed to get through without being too pessimistic for one show.
Rebel, it's the first. I swear, it's the first show in maybe 2 weeks where you haven't had the bit between your teeth. Maybe there's a softening of the bum cheeks now, and you're now going to start relaxing once you're out of the show.
It's good to see because thank God you don't cuss the way you cuss in the WhatsApp group. Because it's if you came on the show and start cussing like that, I think there'd be a few complaints. You've got to sometimes get a foul mouth. So I'm glad to see you smiling, like Mr. B said. I'm glad to see that you're pleased, you approve of what's going on with the club. And now it's all, like you said, it's all about performance now in the league and making us play better football. And then,
I will say I do agree with our wonderful subscribers that I do want a midfielder. I'm not confident in our midfield, but that's a different day's show. But for now, we have been the Man United agenda. Good night.
Good night.